Copwatch, policing the police every single day.
Stossel, how free are you? Where does the United States land on the 2017 Freedom Index? Not as high as you think. John Stossel and Maxim Lott, January 30, 2018. Are you living in the freest country? Not if you live in the United States. The new Human Freedom Index by the Fraser and Cato Institutes ranks countries by both economic freedom, like freedom to trade, amount of regulations, and tax levels, and personal freedom, such as women's rights and religious freedom. America rose 7 spots in the latest report, to number 17. But it's still far from where it once was. Report co-author Ian Vasquez tells John Stossel that America used to be a 2, 3, or 4. And then government started to grow. It started to spend more. President Bush signed the Wall Street bailouts and increased regulations. Obama continued increasing regulations and upped America's top tax rate. Stossel says a good ranking matters, not just because it's good to be free, but because freedom allows people to prosper. The countries near the top of the rankings, like Switzerland and Hong Kong, tend to have less government. Stossel says places with less government are better places to live. The top of the list: Switzerland, Hong Kong, New Zealand. The bottom: Libya, Venezuela, Syria. Human Freedom Index. Share. The Human Freedom Index presents the state of human freedom in the world based on a broad measure that encompasses personal, civil, and economic freedom. Human freedom is a social concept that recognizes the dignity of individuals and is defined here as negative liberty or the absence of coercive constraint. Because freedom is inherently valuable and plays a role in human progress, it is worth measuring carefully. The Human Freedom Index is a resource that can help to more objectively observe relationships between freedom and other social and economic phenomena, as well as the ways in which the various dimensions of freedom interact with one another. The report is co-published by the Cato Institute, the Fraser Institute, and the Liberals Institute at the Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom. The Human Freedom Index, 2017. The index published here presents a broad measure of human freedom, understood as the absence of coercive constraint. It uses 79 distinct indicators of personal and economic freedom in the following areas: rule of law, security and safety, movement, religion, association, assembly, and civil society, expression and information, identity and relationships, size of government, legal system and property rights, access to sound money, freedom to trade internationally, regulation of credit, labor, and business. The HFI is the most comprehensive freedom index so far created for a globally meaningful set of countries. The HFI covers 159 countries for 2015, the most recent year for which sufficient data are available. The index ranks countries beginning in 2008, the earliest year for which a robust enough index could be produced. On a scale of 0 to 10, where 10 represents more freedom, the average human freedom rating for 159 countries in 2015 was 6.93. Among countries included in this report, the level of freedom decreased slightly, -0.05, compared with 2014, with 61 countries increasing their ratings and 97 decreasing. Since 2008, the level of global freedom has also decreased slightly, -0.12, with about half of the countries in the index increasing their ratings and half decreasing. The top 10 jurisdictions in order were Switzerland, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Ireland, Australia, Finland, Norway, Denmark, and, tied at 9th place, the Netherlands and the United Kingdom. Selected countries rank as follows: Canada, 11, Sweden, 13, Germany, 16, the United States, 17, Japan, 27, South Korea, 29, France, 33, Italy, 35, Chile, 37, South Africa, 68, Mexico, 73, Indonesia, 78, Turkey, 84, Kenya, 89, Malaysia, 97, India, 102, United Arab Emirates, 116, Russia, 126, China, 130, Nigeria, 133, Pakistan, 141, Zimbabwe, 146, Saudi Arabia, 149, Iran, 154, Egypt, 155, Venezuela, 158, and Syria, 159. Out of 17 regions, the highest levels of freedom are in Western Europe, Northern Europe, and North America, Canada and the United States. The lowest levels are in the Middle East and North Africa, Eastern Europe, Moldova, Russia and Ukraine, South Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. Women-specific freedoms, as measured by 7 indicators in the index, are strongest in 5 European regions: Central Europe and the Baltics, Western Europe, Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, and Southern Europe, and North America, and are least protected in the Middle East and North Africa, South Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. Countries in the top quartile of freedom enjoy a significantly higher per capita income, $38,871, than those in other quartiles. The per capita income in the least free quartile is $10,346. The HFI finds a strong correlation between human freedom and democracy. Hong Kong is an outlier in this regard. The findings in the HFI suggest that freedom plays an important role in human well-being, and they offer opportunities for further research into the complex ways in which freedom influences, and can be influenced by, political regimes, economic development, and the whole range of indicators of human well-being.
The new Freedom Ranking's out. Every year, researchers at the Fraser and Cato Institutes compare economic freedoms like the freedom to trade, amount of regulations, tax levels, plus personal freedoms like women's rights and religious freedom. They publish the results in the Human Freedom Index. It compares countries according to how free they are. So, is America the freest country? No. We came in 17th this year, well behind many other countries. The report says the freest countries are now Switzerland, Hong Kong, New Zealand, Ireland, and then Australia. Years ago, America was near the top of the economic freedom list.
The United States used to have one of the freest economies in the world.
Ian Vasquez helped write the ranking.
It used to be 2, 3, or 4, and then government started to grow. It started to spend more.
To step in with dramatic government action.
And regulate more.
The strongest consumer financial protections in history.
And tax more.
Those who are more fortunate are going to have to pay a little bit more.
Those are reasons we fell on the freedom list. So let's look at the top of the list. Why does Switzerland rank first in the world?
Welcome to the world.
Because it has comparatively little regulation, low taxes, a free press, and other freedoms like same-sex marriage that many other countries lack. A good ranking matters not just because it's good to be free, but because freedom allows people to prosper. Look what happened in Hong Kong, number 2 on the list.
Hong Kong, 1,000 worlds in this one small spot.
Not long ago, people in Hong Kong were among the poorest in the world. But now they're among the richest.
What do I like about Hong Kong? Every moment there's something exciting going on.
Prosperity happened because Hong Kong's government put few obstacles in the way of trying new things, like starting a business. Here I am in Hong Kong years ago, applying for legal permission to open a business. Handing in one form was all I had to do.
Thank you, sir.
The next morning, I opened Stossel Enterprises.
$10.
It was a stupid business, selling things like American Frisbees. But that chance to try new things is what allowed Hong Kong to prosper. By comparison, India ranks much lower. Because there to start a business, entrepreneurs may have to wait years while bureaucrats like these debate the merit of your idea. Good ideas die waiting on these shelves. That's a reason India stays poor. It could be worse. The most oppressed people in the world are those who live in the countries at the bottom of the freedom ranking. Egypt, Yemen, Libya, Venezuela, and least free, Syria. Mostly because of the war. You aren't free if you worry about being killed. Second least free country, Venezuela, was once the richest country in Latin America. Then socialists promised they'd spread the wealth. Now Venezuelans fight over bags of flour.
Freedom is under attack all around the world.
Tanya Porchnik is the ranking's other author. I interviewed her by Skype because she now lives in Austria, though she was born in Slovakia. You moved to Austria to get more freedom?
Yes, freedom just inspired me. Freedom relates to other things that matter.
What's important in life? Those of us who revere freedom often say it's the dignity of the individual and a chance to live free from coercion.
You can lead your life any way you want as long as you respect the equal rights of others. What job you want to take, what kinds of things you want to do, who you want to marry, what you want to do on your free time, where you want to live.
Countries don't regulate your free time.
Oh, yes, they do. They regulate everything. They regulate vacation time, where you can travel. If you're a woman in some parts of the world, you have to ask permission for men to go out in public.
Freedom brings good things to countries that try it.
New Zealand is
People now want to live in third-ranked New Zealand.
The country is politically and economically stable, with people all over the world attracted by the benefits and opportunities.
Ireland used to be poor, but now it ranks 4th in the Freedom Index.
You don't just arrive in Ireland, you jump in.
Ireland, I think about the potato famine. I don't think about prosperity.
They reduced taxes, they reduced spending, they reduced some regulations, they opened up to trade.
Crack down on China's trade abuses.
America now may close itself to some trade. If that makes you want to move to another country, the rankings offer places to consider and places to avoid. Greece is beautiful, but it ranks 60th in freedom. China has gotten richer, but it ranks 130th. You can read the full rankings on the Cato Institute's and Fraser Institute's websites. It's too bad that the U.S. is now only 17th in the rankings, but the good news is that we are 17th partly because in recent years, other countries became more free. Despite what we hear on the news, over several decades, the world has slowly been getting better.
Police use who may want to retaliate against him physically.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Copwatch, and I just wanted you to know that I am using this stuff under fair use. And also remember to like and subscribe this channel. Also too, keep in mind I do not make any money on YouTube. This is 5 hours work a day, you know, fighting for freedom. And you can donate with PayPal and Patreon. I just want you to think about this. If everybody gives to PayPal and Patreon, Patreon is every month. Actually, PayPal you can do every month. I have 12,000 subscribers. If everybody gives, I can quit my regular job and go full-time investigations on Charlotte County and possibly even more and beyond. So just keep that in mind. If everybody helps out, I can go full-time doing this. Thanks.